In this movie, we are going to talk about LinkedIn groups and specifically how you can use LinkedIn groups to market your business. Now, I am at the groups directory for LinkedIn, and here's how I got here. There's the normal radio buttons on top, and if you look at groups and click groups directory, you'll end up here. And believe it or not, these days there's 1,390,000 groups that are available on LinkedIn. That means you have 1,390,000 level database that you can search to find the type of groups that might be of interest to you. The groups you're going to look for are not the groups that are your colleagues, but the groups that are your customers. So if your customers are in the aviation field, for instance, you want to type in aviation here up at the search bar. So let's do that right now. And then hit the search button and find the groups that may be of interest to you. So you can see there's 2,100 groups that cover aviation. Find the groups that have a lot of active discussions, a lot of members. For instance, this aviation professional one has 73,000 members, and then join that group. And once you've joined that group, introduce yourself to the group, try to get some information out on your company, but be subtle about that as well. Be part of the community and part of the discussion. I often tell folks that I work with that you really want to sit and listen for a couple of days, get a feel for the group, how they interact before you try any introductions whatsoever. And a while after that, before you even talk about marketing. The best way to subtly market your organization within a LinkedIn group is to start a discussion by saying, just want to introduce myself, here's what I do for a living, how can I be of service to you? That's a subtle way of marketing your business as you go along. We'll also talk about, and I won't go specifically to this page, but you can go to the create a group aspect, and there you'll see walking through the different ways that you can create a group. Now there's two types of groups that you want to create. One would be a subject matter expert group, and that, for instance, if you're in aviation, you may do something along the lines of best practice in aviation mechanics. And you can be the owner of that group, and you can start discussions and really curate discussions as you go along. This sets up your company or your organization as a subject matter expert in the field where your customers are interested. The other side of that is you could start a company group, for instance, Boeing Aviation Users Group or whatever it may be, or employees group. That is not as good a way to market, because what you run into is folks who are already Boeing customers or are interested in Boeing or Boeing employees that are not necessarily going to be new customers or potential customers. So that's really what you want to walk through. And as we talked about earlier, we really want to make sure that, from this group's directory, as we go back over here, you want to be involved with the group in a community way. So you want to be involved in the discussion, offer up information, don't try to sell as often as possible, and don't every single time go in with a new discussion just basically marketing in the information that you've got. So this is LinkedIn groups. A lot of really cool ways that you can market, a lot of good information that you can get out. And like I said, with 1,390,000 groups out there and available, you can slice and dice this LinkedIn database in such a way that you can find your customers and then actually interact with them in the groups that they're involved with on LinkedIn.